Do you want to hear me talk and try to tell you how it is?
Hey, all right, here we are again on part 2 of making this carbon fiber pick guard. And I think what I'll have to go ahead and start with here is that when you have, for example, here, these corners. Here, we're going to have our pickup set here. But corners are really hard to do. So what I like to do first is drill these out. And you can't use a metal bit or a wood bit. You have to use a masonry bit, and that is the only way really to do that successfully. And you have to go kind of slow because you don't want to punch out the backside and leave a bunch of fragments that way. And so I use like a regular type masonry bit like you'd use for concrete. And let's see here, for example, I'll show you what one looks like here. I can get one out. Here it is. So, I don't know if you can see that or not, if my camera's working right, but I'll just set it right here. This is the type of bit that you want to use to cut these out. All right, we're going to get to cutting it out, and maybe I'll speed that up and put some tunes to go along with it. We'll see. All right. All right, so we're going to begin to cut this pickguard out. And what I have here is a little vise that I use. That is a really handy tool if you're working on guitars. And of course, here's my Dremel. And there's the cutting wheel that I use. And what I like to do is I place my material in the vise, and then I can pivot it around however I need it to be. But what I do before that, so I don't make so much of a mess, is this will, oops, sorry about that. This here, I'll either take this part of the vacuum hose and we'll use some tape and we'll position this correctly here so it's not in the way of me cutting, but it's close enough that it'll suck up all of the dust, because this is really dirty when you do this. And then I'll throw some drop cloths around on different things here, tools and stuff. Otherwise, it just gets all kinds of stuff in the air. If you got a place to do it outside or somewhere in a garage where you don't care if the dirt goes wherever, then that's the best way to do it. But I usually use a vacuum is usually hooked up to all of my tools, except for the drill press. That's a really tricky one to try to get the hose positioned to, because there's always a different place you need it. But it's usually not too messy with that. But this is definitely really messy. Okay, we'll get to doing it.
Professional
create a problem. Normally I go a lot slower with this, but I'm actually working up a sweat. I'm probably going to have to take a nap after this, being an old MFer. Okay, so let's talk about something. My channel. You're going to find all kinds of weird stuff on my channel. So it's tough trying to build a YouTube channel. And I didn't want to do things that weren't not all me. But I went ahead and we're going to do some philosophy stuff. So you're going to find a video of Alan Watts, which is one of my favorite philosophers. And you're going to see some short videos of maybe like AC/DC or the Beatles or maybe some Jimi Hendrix or something like that. Just little short clips. And try to keep things music themed. But I like to do a lot of health issues too, because there's a lot of strange health things that are out there right now, and I can imagine a lot of people nowadays have health issues, and it's important to be supportive of things like that, because when you get a little bit older, you don't really know what it's like with older folks. Well, when you're younger, then you get a little bit older, but it's really strange, some of the shit that, oops, excuse me, some of the things that happen that are completely a mystery to doctors, like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia. We live in a modern world full of toxins, GMOs, cell phone towers on every block. I'm not trying to get into conspiracy theories, but I've dove into stuff enough to know what's horse shit, what's horse dungy and what's not. But there's a lot of things that, anyway, that will be one of the topics. And, of course, guitars. And this next guitar that we're building right here, I was thinking about putting a Tessie switch on it, but I decided to not. This is going to have a 3-way switch plus a mini switch for switching the pickups to single coil. And the reason why I left the Tessie switch out this time is because I personally like 2 volumes to adjust my 2 pickups. And that's how I do my switching. Because I normally play with both pickups on. And when I play with both pickups on, I can really blend the tones well. And what's neat about these pickups is that they're actually really nice pickups, the Kent Armstrong pickups, which I think that a lot of people they're very underrated as far as pickups go, because they're so reasonable priced, and I think that they are just fabulous. I was skeptical, at first, and now I'm just completely sold on them, and I'd like to be able to make my guitars at a price point that reflects the fact that they are reasonable pickups. But at this point in time, as you can see, I don't have robots working for me. I don't have little slave children. So, with my health being all wacky like it is, pumping maybe 2 to 4 guitars out a year is what I'm doing right now, and I would love to have that at least up to 12 to 20 guitars a year. That would be ideal. But right now, it's not realistic unless I get CNC machines and 2 other employees or something like that. would like to keep this. Well, it would be good to have an apprentice come in now and then, but the whole point of being a sole proprietor is that you get to work on your own terms. And like I say, when you have some wacky health issues, it's hard to, and I feel bad about telling somebody that I'm going to do something for them and then not be able to feel it because I have to rest or and whatnot. So that being said, more about this next guitar. Let's talk about guitars. So these Kent Armstrong pickups, they're switchable. And this last one I made, the SDF 333B, that guitar is absolutely phenomenal. It's kind of got a fatter neck because the finish is built up so thick that it actually took me over the tolerances I wanted to be at for the neck thickness. But it's fine. It still feels like a fat 50s neck. Like, as you know, the early Les Pauls and stuff, then they were all made by hand like I'm doing. So while they had probably a guide or a template, you know, they were all individually different. And that's how my guitars are too. But I do have one guitar that's got a pretty slim neck, quite slim neck, kind of squarish on some spots, but and that's the 333. No, that's the STF2, number 2. But that guitar is a really nice playing guitar too. They all play amazing. And the 333B, the bluish purple thing, it has the Tessie switch, which is nice if you're putting in a cable real quick, disconnecting quick, or you really like the strobe effect. But you can still get the strobe effect with the 3-way switch, and you can still turn your volumes off and up and down if you're worried about hot cables and things like that. So, yeah. So, let's talk about music. I just started releasing drum beats because now that I've got a real drum kit, I can get back to drumming again, which I used to drum quite a bit in different bands too. Well, quite a bit as in I did a lot of my own drum work for my music, and I think it's fun now to be able to have beats out there and have people jam along and do something that you've done. So that is really when it came out maybe 2 months ago. And now the latest release is going to be out on April 27th. And it's called Fine Freaks. And that's a song that started out as one of my guitar songs. And then I came up with a couple cool lines, and then I was like, man, this song just went on and on and on and on for almost 2 years. I couldn't get a good feel of what I wanted for this song. And finally, I just let it be what it was naturally meant to be, and that was a guitar song. So it's got some cool lyrics in the front of it, and the rest of it just rocks out with drums and guitar. And it's a fairly heavy song, kind of like a mix between Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses type of a song. And that's gonna hurt me around that part. But that's the latest release, Fine Freaks, out April 27th. And of course, we're calling these new series of guitars the NC series, which stands for Normcore, because I'm going to try trying to make some guitars that kind of look familiar enough that people aren't scared. I know it's hard to try new things and to buy guitars from people that actually make them the whole thing, not just one tiny little part in a factory. But don't be scared to buy one of my guitars to get in touch with me. All right, take care. I'm going to do this the rest by myself because it's really boring. Okay. Hey, all right. So yeah, we finished that up. There you have it. And there is your carbon fiber pickguard. 2 sections. And that's how she'll go. Got a little bit of holes to fill. These holes were made from routing out this piece, clamping down my jig. We won't, maybe some of these we'll be able to use for the same, maybe that one, but for the most part probably they'll be filled because we'll probably have one here, there, etc. Yeah, so there you go. All right. Stay tuned next time when I show you how I do my truss rod installs. It's a little bit different. Most people do it. And yeah, so stay tuned for that. And don't forget to subscribe and like the video. That helps me keep it going and keep the shop going. All right. Take care.